Why did the rabbis of the Talmud decide, despite the fact that the scribes had censored those anthropomorphisms, to insert a footnote next to them in the Talmud? You know the Talmud is written in circular form, so they placed a note behind the last circle explaining all the verses that had been censored. I suspect that the rabbis said, "We don't know what led the scribes to censor the anthropomorphisms." Oh yes, we do. Why? The issue was idolatry. Idolatry means not making images of God. If there were too many anthropomorphisms, the people could fall into idolatry. The more esoteric Kabbalists say the God of the Merkavah has a human form. The problem with idolatry is representing that form as an image. So here there are two issues that become intertwined. Idolatry is the representation of an image of God. Another question is whether or not God had a form. Because if we're asking whether God had a form, we're talking about the God of the Merkavah, not about the Ein Sof, not about the infinite. Moshe Idel says that for centuries Judaism was a monotheism that had within itself a ditheism, that is, it had the infinite God and the God of the Merkavah. The rabbis made the decision that the God of the Merkavah was still too anthropomorphic. Why? First, the scribes censored those verses in order not to reveal the anthropomorphic traits of the God of the Merkavah. What we're basically saying is that they were prohibiting the images of a God who was extraterrestrial. That is, what God was prohibiting, because the commandment from God is, "You shall not make images of me," was the making of his image. A God who has no image, would he be concerned about people making images of him? I mean, if I have no image at all, why would I worry about someone creating an image of me? I would only be concerned if I did have an image. The hidden Kabbalists say that God does have an image. The God of the Merkavah, the God who is in Keter of the world of Bereah, is not the Ein Sof, that one truly has no image. Therefore, the problem is this. If we give an image to the messenger, we risk getting lost in the messenger and missing the message, because the message is the Ein Sof, the infinite God. But did the messenger actually bring the message? Or could it be that at that point there wasn't yet a high enough level of consciousness, and so we, as human beings, would have clung to the messenger and failed to understand the message?